opposed? This meeting is adjourned. And if we could just take a minute or two here to move some documents around. I need to save this here. Okay, close this. Blank. Carol, if you want to end up seeing any of these reports from the state on numbers, I can easily forward those to you.
No, I'm fine. I assumed that there were numbers coming in, some of the stuff was just strange.
It is $6.24. Okay. Okay, we're going to, unless anybody on the board need to use the restroom or anything quick. We've been here for a bit. We're good? Okay. I'm going to call the regular meeting of the board for the Town of Westfield. Call to order. The time is 7:10 p.m. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brenda, can I have you take a roll call?
John?
Here.
Carol?
Here.
Sharon?
Here.
Debbie? Here. I'm
I just would like to mention to everybody that our town attorney Eric Larson is here, and in the hopes of any questions that board members may have, we can direct to him, and we will move on. First item then is review and approve September 18th regular board meeting minutes. Everybody has had those in advance of this meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Chair's report, keeping it brief. The 1983 Chevy pumper truck sold to David Carr. This would be the truck that Mr. Johnson sold to Mr. Carr prior to things kind of switching around here. It was necessary for us to reach out to him because with statute section 946.70 requires that all fire department signage be removed from that truck. He has failed to do that. The fire prevention coordinator for District 3 of the state of Wisconsin, the Department of Safety and Professional Services, has advised that they will open an investigation if Mr. Carr does not remove that signage. I turned the matter over to our town attorney, who has been taking care of that, but I wanted everybody to be aware. The second item on my chair's report is Westfield Fire Department. I attended the village meeting last week, Wednesday. As I mentioned at the last meeting, the town of Springfield has officially transferred their services to the Westfield Fire Department. So that department comes comprised of the town of Westfield, the town of Springfield, and the village of Westfield.
Do you have an effective date for that?
November 1st. Both parties, us and Town of Springfield, executed fire services agreements through 2028 that are pretty much identical, as we're paying the same fee, Town of Springfield's paying the same fee for services. There are a few other items that were included in the Springfield agreement. I have not seen that agreement and cannot speak to everything that they have provided to the village. It's my understanding that several trucks, 3, and then 4 firefighters, active firefighters are joining them. Their chief will be an honorary member. Again, that I have not seen that agreement. There was only one call in Westfield last month. Town of Westfield.
Okay.
I was told that information wasn't being released due to HIPAA law, so I can't really report more on that. I did finalize the truck and equipment sales to Westfield. This does not include the ready racks. If you don't know what a ready rack is, it's the kind of like lockers that are there for the firefighters to put their firefighting equipment. And so to date, we have received $18,045 from the village of Westfield. I provided you with that second check today. Ready racks to be negotiated, and that's the end of my report.
So the 2 checks that have come in, one came in today, when did the other one come in? I didn't have a chance to see the.
I don't have anything that came in this month yet.
So
On any recording.
So you did receive the check for 16,500?
Yes.
And
I
you
think
did
it was this month, right?
Was that
October.
Both of them were, yeah.
Both.
Yeah, and I just received the balance.
Okay.
And everyone here did receive a copy of the inventory, the prices that were negotiated. All right, next clerk's report.
I have I don't know how to get this. You've got the Westfield stuff that you gave us. Now, what about the rest of the fire department equipment? Like, what's happened with the Wisconsin surplus auction? Like, did we get money coming in for that?
I reported on all of that last month, actually. I had a detail, and the bills of sale and other documents. Several of them were provided to board members through email as they were negotiated.
Okay.
And Debbie has the bills of sale on everything. So if you have a question on something, she can certainly provide that to you.
I would like to know how much money we received from the sale of the Wisconsin surplus auction. And I also like to know is the building empty?
Still 2 fire trucks.
There are still 2 fire trucks in there, which I mentioned.
Okay, I just want to make, I just
Yes,
want
no,
an
that's
update.
fine, that's fine. And the amount, as I reported last month from Wisconsin surplus, was, let's see, $4,655 for the F-250 Ford pickup truck, and $5,597.57 for the equipment. And Debbie, you received a check from them?
Yes.
It's in the financial report, we've seen it.
Well, I don't see the financial report, that's why I'm asking.
It was just received in.
Again, that
Yeah,
just
it
came
was
in this
October,
month,
it
so
would be on there.
you wanna add 5597.57 and 4655, that is the check amount we received from Wisconsin surplus.
And that's gonna go into what we call the fire protection plan reserve.
It's like, yeah, the fire protection plan, but.
The
right now it's just
Services plan/services. That's all
I just wanna know
call
where I'll
Yeah,
see
that's
that
where
deposit.
it'll be.
Okay, and then we should have received the $40 for other stuff.
We did.
Is that gonna also be on that schedule?
That is on, yeah, it's on the schedule.
Okay.
That's also included on your income budget for this month, for September.
Yeah, I saw the little, but, well, I saw that
Little
on
bit
here,
of-
but there's no explanation as to what it is.
Well, that's part of the financial report, which we'll get to, okay.
And then, we have a website that's brand new. What kind of contacts and feedback have you gotten?
I really don't have a discussion on the website listed in the agenda, I'd like to move on.
Can you give us a report on
If
the
you would-
website?
I absolutely can.
Thank you.
And you want to know what? Who I talked to?
Or-
No, the website contacts, I mean, what kind of contacts have we been getting? Like, what are the people out there doing with the website? And they're
Every
contacting
contact
you.
I've received has been very positive and just expressing, excuse me? Can we keep it a little quiet back there? It's hard for people to hear whoever.
The bench moved and we thought it was going down.
Okay. Glad it didn't.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
The contacts I have received through the website have been in favor and people expressing their enjoyment of being able to review all the information. So we'll just leave it at that and move on. Treasurer's, clerk's report? Sorry.
I have been working on the financials with Debbie. We have spent a lot of time and energy on trying to get these numbers correct. And working on the budget numbers. I did take 2 classes. I am required by the end of the year to take 6 hours of training for elections. So I am trying to fit that in. Also, I've already attended 2 classes. One, a new clerk's class regarding elections, and then a new absentee certificate envelope class. And I'm working with Marilyn from Wistar, getting our accounts all in order. She sends me weekly an update of items that she needs. So we're hoping by January 1, our new budget goes in there and we go live with our software. That's all I got.
Very good. Can I comment that you guys have balanced?
We have.
Okay.
More excited.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
The town checking account, the previous balance was 405, 433.01 with deposits of $40 and subtractions of 143,818.99. The interest we received for September was $597.19 and the current balance is $262. I got that wrong.
Yeah.
I wrote that wrong, what is it? So it's 405, here, I'm looking here. 262,251.21 is our ending balance for our checking account. The contingency account, the previous balance was $38,839.16. We received interest of $73.43 with an ending balance of $38,912.59.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no. We will move on to the monthly vouchers.
What about the rest of the treasurer's report? What about this document?
What document?
The one that says budget report, budget versus actual, revenue and expenses?
That's what she just read off of.
She read off the bank statement reconciliation, just, all she read was a small amount down here. She didn't do anything with the stuff up here.
What did I miss?
Well,
I've got the beginning, I've got the bank statement right here.
She's gonna, do you have questions regarding this report?
I have questions
Oh,
about
okay.
this report itself. I see that you've made a lot of changes to it, and some of them I think are good, but I'm wondering how I'm not sure how you're preparing this report, because when I look at, for example, I'm gonna pick on the attorney again, because he's here and I like him. The August attorney bill, attorney expenses was $12,435. Then in September, we paid $1,978 to him, and now the balance is still the $12,435. So
Okay,
this
yeah.
didn't get updated.
Can you respond to Carol via email with that?
I
If you don't have
can.
everything
I
in
don't-
front of you.
I don't know that
So it's a good question.
Because, I mean, there's some things in there just to understand how it's working, and what I'd like to know is the $19,300 payment that was made to the village. How is that recorded in our accounting here? Like, which line items is it on?
So it is.
Well, you can do it,
Okay,
do it in the response, because
Okay.
I also sent you an email saying some of the checks weren't accounted for, and I didn't get a response from that. So I would like to know what's happening with are they in here or not?
I didn't add them on to my sheet,
Well, when I look at
because there
the,
weren't any voided for,
when I look at the August expense report, I'll say, okay, let's just say the numbers are 300,000 is the total. Then I look at the voucher, and if we're adding 18,000, then I would add those two together, and that should be my bottom line number here, so that I have confidence that this report is accurate. And when I see things missing, then I don't know how much that I can trust this report, because this is not a accounting system report, this is an Excel spreadsheet. And you can,
My suggestion is that you do move forward with reaching out to Debbie, now that they've indicated that they are both balanced with the numbers between the two of them. I had previously reported what the actual dollar amounts were that went for the $19,300. It has shown up previously in monthly financial reports. I understand that you're still somewhat confused, so let's just have Debbie provide it to us.
it's pulled from different accounts.
I know, I understand that, it was pulled from one account, it was done one way in May, it was done a different way in June, and now we've got September, it's being done a different way. And I don't know, I'd like to know what the final result is.
I will send you a copy of the voucher that I found, that was where it came out of, and that is how it is corrected in here now.
Okay, so if you can tell me which line items is on, because I understand it's allocated. Tell me which line items is on, I'll be happy,
Okay.
as long as it's accurate.
Anything else, Carol, or?
No, when I look at the numbers that you say you say you're reconciled, and I think that's you're reconciled between the two of you. I'm not sure that this is reconciled to the accounting records. And I'm not sure how.
Are your accounting records?
Well, I don't understand it then, because something happened with the attorney bill in September. It didn't show up on here.
Something in September?
I don't have my vouchers.
Because my August is the same on the budget report for August and September. I would have to look and see if we paid an attorney fee in
Well, but see, we did pay,
September.
we did pay an attorney fee in September on 9/8 was check number 6537 for $1,978.
Okay.
So that didn't show up on here, so that's
Right.
what.
You're right, it didn't. Okay.
I do have those numbers exactly for you, Carol, and what areas they came out of. So the first payment of $5,524.26 towards the $19,300 came from the 2% dues count. We
Which-
zeroed out that 2% dues count.
Which.
Let me finish.
Okay,
The second was $8,582.08 was taken from Fire Protection Services, Fire Protection Plan. That's where that came from, and then the final amount was $5,163.66 from the Fire Department Operation account. You add those three together, they total $19,300.
They don't.
All right, we already approved the financial report, let's move on to vouchers.
You have the voucher list in front of you. Total vouchers, including September 30th and then through 10/3, are $18,741.53. Any questions?
No. Make a motion to approve the vouchers for October.
I'm gonna second that motion, any discussion?
Will I get a copy of the attorney invoice? Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
The motion carries. Voucher report is approved. Next item on the agenda, old business, we had none. New business, Tammy Rogers, are you here? Okay. We were all provided with Ms. Rogers' application for rezoning a portion of parcel 0280081400000, West 6718 Ember Drive. You are looking to have 10 acres rezoned from prime ag 1 to ag 2 and 70 acres moved into the farmland preservation overlay district.
Correct.
Did you have anything you wanted to bring to our attention?
Not necessarily, not yet.
Not on this, right?
You say not yet, what does that mean?
I guess that depends on the response.
Okay, let's say this is approved, but is there something more coming, or?
No,
Okay,
absolutely not.
We're looking to entertain a motion to,
Does, questions?
you have a question, sir? Well, go ahead.
Any, comments from the neighbors?
One comment. I think kind of questioning how the property was going to be used.
I can assure you that the reason I'm doing this is to keep as much of it in ag as I possibly can. That is my intent. I'll state that in front of everyone here to preserve our lifestyle in Marquette County.
Are you building on it then?
I am not building on it. There will be no more buildings added to that, nor the 70 acres that I am putting into the overlay.
My understanding that you're looking to sell
Are you
the
interested in
house
mine?
with the 10 acres. Well, no, this is what you put in your application.
Okay,
And so I would just mention that she's looking to sell that
But then
section.
it'll become housing.
no, it's the farmhouse, dear. I'm not building any additional buildings.
She cannot, only put in the farmland preservation overlay. She
Then I
cannot,
cannot do that.
She cannot
That is
do
why I'm
anything.
doing this,
this preserves it, just as she says.
to
So-
fit in with the comprehensive plan of the township.
So make that motion to approve the rezoning.
I would second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Right.
Opposed? None? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will notify zoning tomorrow. We'll
Thank
let them know. The second zoning issue is Kirk and Judith Kangas application requesting a variance under section 70.17, paragraph J, paragraph 2 of the Marquette County Code of Ordinances, chapter 70 zoning for installation of a second access on the resident lot. parcel 028, well, here we go. It's West 6656 Cameron Terrace. Basically, it's, they're looking to add another driveway.
Well, if they're gonna put another building up,
To a
And they're
garage,
gonna
and they're
need
gonna
a
put in a
driveway
driveway.
and it's gonna be 4 feet lower than the current footprint, so that's why they're looking for a second
Correct.
driveway as opposed to.
Are the Kangases here?
Pardon?
Can I have you address the?
We are trying to build a garage, and the most logical place is on the west side of our driveway. But there's a 4-foot dip between where our existing driveway is and where the lot is, where the garage would go. So we're trying to build a driveway so we can get to the garage. If we have to lift it up 4 feet and use the existing driveway, there's a issue with water running down towards our house into our basement. And we've had water issues before in the past. So we're trying to avoid that by building a driveway to the garage. We're following all the covenants that are written up on the hill, and we're siding it with the same siding as our house. It's going to look just like part of our property, so we're hoping that we can get a second driveway.
I saw your comment in the application about the driveway to be paved to increase your property value. Are you looking to sell, or you're just?
All our
I
neighbors-
just thought that was funny to read that in here.
All our neighbors that have said that they are fine with it, they have no issues, we're not blocking anybody's view, we're not impinging on anybody else's property, so.
I have not received any comments from any citizens on this particular zoning. I do know, I believe you went out,
I
took a
looked at
look, yes?
I'll make that motion to approve the zoning for Kirk and Judith Kangas.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Right.
Aye, opposed, none. Move forward.
Thank you.
Okay. I will notify zoning tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you.
Brenda, we will have to provide zoning with a copy of the minutes from this meeting as well at some point, so, I'll notify Tom and, let him know that the minutes will be coming sometime in the somewhat near future, because I know you're busy. The next item on the agenda is services of Chris Hackle and Scott Smith in connection with Wisconsin surplus preparation of fire trucks and equipment for sale through Wisconsin Surplus. I want to reiterate to everyone here that Chris and Scott are from the Town of Newchester Fire Department, and when they came in with their chief to look at equipment and vehicles, that was where I met them. They volunteered to assist the town with organizing and pricing and researching items remaining in the building that we weren't selling to other local fire departments. And to be clear, we didn't execute a contract, they volunteered to assist. I provided everybody on the board here with a breakdown of the estimated number of trips, the number of hours that they put in, and I did meet with Chris and Scott and kind of talked over a little bit. Personally, I feel we should compensate them for the time. It was a total of 24.6 hours that we estimate that they would put in. That's a low estimate. And if we were to calculate the trips back and forth at the IRS allowable rate of 65.5 cents per mile, we had a little over 11 trips would come out to $144.10. for mileage. They are still working with us, as we have some interest in both trucks that are still remaining in there. I don't have any details to provide, but we are moving forward in that direction. I looked at it two different ways. If we were paying them $20 an hour, keep in mind where they're coming from. Chris lives in Wisconsin Dells, and Scott lives not too far from him. Their fire chief also allowed them to come and assist the town with the movement of equipment, getting it listed on surplus. They delivered products to certain people. They washed all the vehicles in there, shined them up nice. They just really did a fantastic job. So I looked at 24.6 hours. If we reimburse them each $20 per hour, which I feel is reasonable, that would come out to $492 for each gentleman. Times 2 would be a total of $984, plus total mileage of $144.10 would equal $1,128.10. Basically, they'd be splitting that, and the other option I looked at was the total amount from surplus, which right now is at $10,252.50. If we had paid a commission, I estimated 10% commission, that would be $1,025.26 plus $144.10 for a total of $1,169.36. Basically a $40 difference. And I'm looking for consideration from this board to compensate them based upon all of the work that they have done, and it's been a lot.
Spent a lot of time up here.
Either I was up here with them, or John was up here with them, and then there were times where actually Charlene was up here with them, and depending on who was available at whatever time they were coming. And
I'll make that motion to approve 11/28/10 by the fire service bill.
I would second that motion. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye, nay.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, Internet Town Hall. All of us have been going back and forth a little bit on whether to set up the town hall for internet. There currently is on vacation, internet's on vacation from building 2, as I'm referring to it next door. We brought out Marquette Adams Telephone Co-op representative and pretty much just questioned what it would cost and what it would take if we had internet in the building here. The other thing I did was I reached out to everyone on the board via email, simply asking for a yes or no response, no debate, no discussion, what the interest was in having internet here and why we would consider it. So I know Brenda mentioned that she would appreciate having an internet connection at the town hall to have the opportunity to work alongside the treasurer here in this building. We would have the space to spread out our paperwork and work without the distractions of being at one or the other's house. She would also like to take meeting minutes right on my laptop. Debbie indicated, you know, being in favor of having it here. She did question that she doesn't have a laptop. If I could say so, when they meet right now, and if they meet at Debbie's house, it's up in her bedroom. And you can sit on her bed and try to go through files, but her computer is set up, she works for Breakbush, and that's set up in her bedroom for that purpose, never anticipating that there would be that much involved with being together and working with the clerk. And they have to work together. They have to do double checks on figures and numbers. They have to balance between the two of them. They have to be able to file reports. So I understand where their wish to have it here would be. I did mention to them both that we don't need internet to use Word on our laptops. So certain documents, if you had them on your laptop, like I did with the Excel spreadsheet for the budget today, you don't need an internet connection to do that. I mentioned that we do have a second laptop here that the town owns. It was Molly's old laptop that certainly Debbie could use to download a lot of that financial information and programs and have it on a laptop instead of everything combined with the documents that are on her home system from Breakbush.
I have a home system for the town too.
Right. I think from my aspect of it, having an internet connection here, for me, I would bring my laptop if there were questions on state statutes or anything, like say you guys had questions, and I can research it right here, pull it up for you, and provide you with factual information. And finally, I thought that the location for both of them to work here, where they would have more room, could spread out, utilize the tables once or twice a month, would be phenomenal. They have rack space on their laptops. They would have access to this here. They would be able to share documents with email and everything else. So I've had that little conversation with them both to go over that. Carol, you had asked me how much will it cost? When we brought Jim out, I can't think of his last name, he's a citizen of the town, he works for Marquette County, Marquette Adams County Co-op. There would be a one-time fee of $70 to switch the internet. And there would be a one-time fee of $119.65. And don't totally understand it, but they can't just switch internet service from there to here. They would have to bring it in from the box on the other side of the street, which you can see. And so they estimated the $119.65 for 300 feet of cable. And that would also, then they would run it on this side of the building, and it would come into one of the new outlets that we are having installed here by the electricians in that side of the room. I took it a step further. I reached out to Marquette Adams, and I says, okay, we've got this one-time fee. You add, the $70 and the $119.65, so it would cost us $189.65 to get it set up here. The actual monthly quote for service is $29.13 for the telephone, which we are required to have here based upon state election laws. And then the internet package that includes Wi-Fi is $79.95 plus $7.95 We've had Wi-Fi all along apparently, but the town board was never provided with password. And because I have it on vacation right now, if we were to reestablish it, we would establish a new password for board members to have. So the total monthly quote then is $117.03 per month. We were already paying, I believe, more than that for services in building 2, which will totally be disconnected.
You don't know how much we were paying over there.
It should be on one of the
It
financial
is.
reports. Was it 140 something? I don't know.
You can't,
170, it was like 143.10 for the fire department and like almost $30 just for the phone. So 173 something.
Okay, the 173 is what we were paying total, so.
Yep.
Instead of paying 173, we'll now pay 117.
Yes,
Is it a year contract?
there is no contract. There's no
So-
term length. They've eliminated all that. They lock you in at that rate and
No, I was just wondering if price
No.
changes. 'Cause they-
no,
my
we're
ad-
locked in at that rate as a business. They consider this a business. So it's 117.03 and,
They did explain that it wouldn't change for me if I changed. But it's, I'm not doing this.
I appreciate your comments, but right now we're just discussing it right here. Thank you. So, I know Carol, you're against it. I know, John, you're split. And, so,
I think we should do it, I mean, what you gave us in terms of that email was not all the explanation of how it will benefit the production of work. So I think there's some value in that. And if we can save money by doing this, it's like, that's almost like a no-brainer. So I think we should approve the moving the internet connection to this building and making sure it's not in that building.
I will entertain a motion if you
I
wish
just
to make
said I
it.
would make a motion to move it.
So you're making a motion to approve 117.03 be sent on a monthly basis for internet connection and phone. That includes the phone as
Right.
well.
And you have to then do the one-time charges.
The
to be able to
one-time
make it
charges
happen.
to install it, yes.
Second that?
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Very good. Okay, next item on the agenda, Lawrence Lake Island title issue. You may recall I mentioned this before to everyone. So the state doesn't own it. The electric company, the old one, doesn't own it. Nobody knows who owns it. And right now, we're doing some, it was recommended by our town assessor, by the DNR, by zoning, anyone and everyone that we've talked to, that we basically do a title search. And I do have someone from the Lake District who is assisting with that. I just wanted to provide an update that we're still continuing to try to determine who owns it. And just kind of a brief update there. There's no action to take at this point. Just letting you all know. The next item on the agenda is the transition of the generator building to town storage building. I have received an estimate from Buchholz Contracting. We did have him come out and replace the sheet of plywood that was installed by Mr. Johnson and Mr. Schaefer last week. And basically what we will be looking to do is we will remove the overhead door and hardware at the back of the building. They've already framed in the vent opening. We felt we had to do that because basically one kick and that board fell right inside the building. And we have to seal off the hole. And their estimate is based on labor materials and the disposal of materials. Buchholz is donating some of the aluminum that they'll use on the building. The highest expense is changing from like a Menards hollow door to a door that meets fire services requirements by the state. It's $955 for that door. So that's included in this amount, which is $2,300. We will move all of the records and documents that are held here and at other places. I come in here twice a week, and I work on organizing all these files, trying to get them in order so that the next person that's coming in can find documents and records. And I've also started historical research at our historical building in town. I started with the first book of records for this town dating back to 1928. And I have gone through to 1944. So, looking at consideration from the board, I believe this is a smart use of that building. We will not have to pay monthly service fees for storage at another facility. I have
What are
checked.
we doing now?
Huh?
What are you referring to in terms of where are we paying monthly storage?
No, if we were paying a monthly storage fee to send it someplace, the lowest one I could find was $109 a month, where it was covered by insurance and everything else. So that building is insured. We would just basically be transitioning to meeting safety codes and making sure it was set up for safe record storage. Everything that we currently have in bankers boxes, some that have been eaten through by mice, in that building, in this closet up here, is being transitioned to Sterlite storage containers for legal files, so that everything would be off the ground or in a container that wouldn't be damaged by a mouse or flooding. And the building itself would be brought up to code to protect from fire.
You are talking Town of Westfield and Morris Lake?
Town of Westfield records,
Yeah, Morris
and
Lake records?
because the lake is in the town of Westfield, we would also store all the Lake District records in there. The closest facility that we could do this with was out of Madison. Didn't make sense. This way, representatives of the Lake District, clerk, treasurer, chairperson, if you're looking for documents, we will have easy access to it. If you've been at the Historical Society, their shelves are extremely full, and we do have some documents there. They're just in books. There's nothing else.
We'll make that motion, for $2,300, Nichols contracting for renovating the storage building.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. We'll move on to the next agenda item. Resolution to censure Town Board Supervisor Carol Golish for repeated violations of the expected conduct of Town of Westfield Town Board Supervisors. Before we move into this, I want to mention, because I know some people don't understand, basically a resolution is offered trying to find an answer or a solution to a conflict, problem, etc., the act of resolving something. I think it's evident to everybody we have a conflict on the town board. What does it mean when someone's censured? It basically means we're doing a formal statement of disapproval in the form of a resolution that's adopted by a majority vote of the board. It does not mean that we're looking to remove anyone from this board. It merely means that there are a number of instances that have risen to violations of an expected code of conduct. Does anybody on the board have any questions about those definitions?
I'd like that motion to approve resolution.
All right, it is a resolution to censure Town Board Supervisor Carol Golish for repeated violations of the expected conduct of Town of Westfield Town Board Supervisors. I will second that motion. We will open it for further discussion, and what I'd like to do is, just to be clear, seeing as we have a number of people here who seem to think I have a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
Stop, please. I'll
Yes.
ask you to be quiet. Okay? It reads, whereas the Town of Westfield Town Board expects the Town Board Supervisors to act in an ethical manner and to act in the best interests of the Town of Westfield. And whereas the Town of Westfield Town Board also expects its Town Board Supervisors to follow all applicable rules, laws, and ordinances of the state of Wisconsin, Marquette County, and Town of Westfield, and any other applicable laws. And whereas the Town of Westfield Town Board finds that Town Board Supervisor Carol Golish failed to abide by the standards expected of elected officials in the Town of Westfield on numerous occasions over the preceding months. And whereas the actions which failed to abide by the standards expected of the Town of Westfield Board include the following. On May 9th, 2023, Supervisor Golish received a written warning issued by the Wisconsin Elections Commission Staff Counsel David Berger, stating the following. This email is to inform you that the Wisconsin Ethics Commission, this is not the Election Commission, this is the Ethics Commission, met on May 9th, 2023, and considered complaints against Mr. Breaker, Mr. Wasson, and Ms. Golish. After reviewing the materials presented, the Commission found probable cause that a violation of WISSTAT Section 11.1303 occurred. Ordinarily, a violation of that statute could result in the forfeiture of up to $500 per violation. However, as this appears to be the candidate's first offense of this requirement, the Commission voted to issue a written warning in lieu of taking any enforcement action. However, if the Commission is informed of any future violations of this provision, we may consider taking enforcement action or referring the matter to the local district attorney. I have that email from the Ethics Commission here stating those facts. Second item, May 2023 through September 2023, Supervisor Golish failed to return town property, resulting in formal complaint filed with the Marquette County Sheriff's Department on August 20th, 23. I have all the details of that complaint and what resulted there. Basically, the town property was turned over when the Sheriff's Department went to Ms. Golish's home. Number 3, June 22nd, 2023, Supervisor Golish made a false 911 call in an attempt to disrupt town business, resulting in Supervisor Golish receiving a municipal citation. Explain this one just a little further. I received a call from Jason Stoffaker on the morning of June 22nd, indicating he was on the way to the building next door with other fire department chiefs. Their wish was to look at what was in the building, the trucks, the equipment, whatnot. They said they were already on their way. I hopped in my car, basically had a 15-20 minute notice that they were going there. There was no time to post a quorum notice. basically no time to do anything. So I arrived here, I was in the firehouse, former firehouse, with Les Crandall, John Vogt, Steve Klump, Jason Stoffaker, and of course myself. These were fire chiefs from Oxford, Montello, and Westfield. We were inside the building when one of the fire chiefs notified me that there was somebody knocking on the back door. And I was in another part of the building. I was in the front, they were in the back. I never heard them knocking, so they came and got me. When I went to the door, it was Carol Golish and it was Gary Schaefer demanding entrance into the building. I denied them entrance for 2 reasons. One, the previous town board experienced serious accusations from Ms. Golish about quorums not being posted, about them being privately. There were a lot of accusations made. Every time I've been up here and I've been in that building with Mr. Bennett, with fire chiefs or anybody else, if John came up, I was able to post a quorum notice so that we didn't violate that. The second reason was they demanded entrance, Mr. Schaefer demanded entrance as a public citizen. I informed him that the building was posted authorized personnel only. He was no longer a volunteer firefighter employee of the town, and I did not give them both access at that point in time. They were angry, and it basically said we weren't going to discuss it, and I closed the door. Next thing I knew, Sheriff's Department showed up, in particular, Sheriff Galonski, indicating to us that they had received a 9/11 complaint. And his report clearly indicates that he spoke with Carol and who he thought was her husband upon their arrival. What did happen was that there were numerous vehicles on the road headed here because there was a claim that there was a theft in progress. State Patrol, multiple sheriffs, police officer, they were all on the way here. When Sheriff Galonski saw the actual descriptions of vehicles and names that were showing up, he recognized everyone on there as being myself and these other fire chiefs and the representative of the DNR. At the time the 9/11 call was made, Ms. Golish indicated that she didn't know who was in the building, that a theft was in progress. There's a tape recording of that call, plus also the report. These fire chiefs were embarrassed, the DNR representative was embarrassed, and I simply explained that there was discord amongst the board as a result of the former volunteer fire department being terminated. His report is extensive. When they asked Carol why the call was made, she indicated she was on the Town of Westfield board and she didn't approve of what was going on. Okay. He asked why did she make a 9/11 call of a theft or burglary in progress when she knew everyone that was in the building. He informed her that at one point they had 5 squad cars responding in an emergency mode to this call. I asked Carol if she knew everyone that was involved, and she said she did. Carol said she just wasn't happy with what was going on and the fire department being closed. I can understand that. At that point, he also reports that Carol and her husband, who was actually Gary Schaefer, stood in the service door threshold as everyone was trying to leave or conducting business. I asked him to move politely several times. He didn't. So then the sheriff indicated that he asked him to move, and he finally moved to the sidewalk so that we could secure the door. The sheriff's department did stay here until those fire department gentlemen and the DNR left the building, at which point, as I was leaving the building, Carol and Mr. Schaefer approached me with certain accusations. I indicated that I would provide Supervisor Golish with inventories of the items that those departments were looking to purchase from the town, which I did. The report and other information, I was required to fill out a statement, was provided to the district attorney's office through Sheriff Conrath, and went up having a meeting with the district attorney and Sheriff Conrath. Our town attorney was present. He didn't represent me. He represented the interests of the town. Supervisor Golish was found guilty and was issued a municipal citation. There are other statements, one that Ms. Golish provided, or should I say Golsich provided.
I can't help if they spelled my name wrong.
I know you're an intelligent woman, Carol, and you would never let that go by. So no one from the town or any place else was able to view these documents because it was on CCAP under a different spelling of the last name. There are other documents that were filed by Ms. Golish and Gary Schaefer which directly contradict the sheriff's report. Being simply mad or not in agreement with the fire department being dissolved, terminated, quite honestly isn't a reason for the level that this has risen to. Supervisor number 4, Supervisor Golish repeatedly interrupts and disrupts public meetings by cutting off other members of the town board.
So do you.
And by, excuse me? No comments, please? It's the second time I've asked nicely for no comments. At this point going forward, you might be removed from the room. Discussing matters that are not on the agenda, failing to abide by rules of order established by the board and the presiding officer. Number 5, Supervisor Golish has used personal email accounts to conduct town business, communications to Gary Peck at the State Department of Safety and Professional Services. There were also communication originally sent to, which isn't listed on here, Sarah Brown from the same department. Sarah Brown. On July 31st and August 9th of 2023, contrary to the recommendation of the Wisconsin Attorney General, which was provided to all board members in an email communication on April 26th of 2023, in which the Attorney General stated, because of the dangers posed by electronic mail, the Attorney General strongly discourages the members of every governing body from using electronic mail to communicate about issues within the body's realm of authority. I advised all board members that formal town business should be conducted through assigned email domains versus personal email accounts. This was recommended to make sure that town board members weren't subjected to public inquiries involving personal emails. By doing this, Supervisor Golish has subjected herself to the potential for public records requests of all her personal documents. We know that, as an example, the draft ordinances, this is the email that went out to everybody on August 16th. Attached, please find the agenda for the next regular board meeting on Monday, August 21st, 2023. I have also attached copies of two draft ordinances involving ATV, UTV routes for our review in anticipation of execution at our September board meeting. At the bottom of every email that I send out to people on the board, there's a disclaimer that's included and that I recommended that every board member uses. And it states this message contains information that may be confidential or privileged and is intended only for the individual named above. It is prohibited for anyone to disclose, copy, distribute, or use the contents of this message without permission, except as allowed by the Wisconsin Public Records laws. If this message is sent to a quorum of governmental, body, my intent is the same as though it were sent by regular mail, and further distribution is prohibited. All personal messages express views solely for the sender, which are not attributed to the municipality I represent, and may not be copied or distributed without this disclaimer. If you receive this message in error, please notify me immediately. Everyone on this board is well aware that draft information about ordinances involving ATV, UTV were sent out to citizens. It was posted on social media and other areas. It should never have happened. The resolution goes on to read, whereas due to the above, the town board of the Town of Westfield finds that Supervisor Carol Golish has not acted in accordance with the standards and expectations of a town board supervisor in the Town of Westfield. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the Town of Westfield that it hereby formally censures Town of Westfield Supervisor 2 Carol Golish for violating the rules, norms, and ethical standards expected of a town supervisor of the Town of Westfield Town Board by her actions in the preceding months. Has a paragraph for adopting, passing, and approving the resolution. Do I have a motion? We already did second it, sorry, my bad. Discussion. No discussion?
What's there to discuss?
Then we'll move forward with the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes to approve the resolution to censure Town Board Supervisor Carol Golish. This will be posted for anybody who would like to read it. Let's see. Alright, next item on the agenda. There are a few dates listed. So our goal is to post the proposed budget at the 3 locations as required. It will also be on the website for all of you to download and review. The meeting is scheduled on November 6th at 6 p.m. for the public budget hearing, and final approval of the 2024 budget, followed immediately by the special electors meeting to approve the tax levy. November 20th at 6 p.m. will be the next regular town board meeting. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you, everyone.
What is this? What is
This was a document that was recently forwarded to me by Attorney Larson that he asked that I share with everyone.
So when do we have opportunity to ask you that? What? When do we have an opportunity to discuss it?
So did you draft all this stuff for her?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but
The censor stuff and everything? Okay, I figured out.
Sharon, hi. One question. You said when you were doing the censure thing that Carol was found guilty, and so she was issued a citation. Was that just a slip?
No, she was found guilty, negligent, issued a emergency
No, but found
citation.
guilty sounds like she went to court and was found
She did
guilty.
have to deal with the court, and a judge had to rule.
Oh, okay.
It was done through stipulation.
Because what I heard was that she was found guilty, and so she was issued a citation.
It was a municipal citation through
Right, the
the courts.
citation came first, though.
It went through the court process. I'm not going to discuss it.
Okay, the wording just sounded strange to me, that's all.
they have only allowed 34 points this entire year. Good defensive effort.
The one about
Bill, good day,
the
sir.
ordinance, I was like, so it's illegal to take a picture of the agenda on the board? And people post it on Facebook? Like,
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, right.
and I was going to say something, but then I
That would have been useless.
But I was like, everything that was posted on Facebook was from the agenda that was posted on the board.
She doesn't see that.
She does not see that.
When the guy found